Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar hosted by Prevention Plus Wellness, located here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. My name is Dr. Chudley Wirch. I'm CEO and founder of Prevention Plus Wellness. And I believe this is the first time that we're presenting this webinar. And I really appreciate everybody being here. It's July. I know people are on vacations and transitioning into vacations and a lot going on. So, I'm grateful for those of you that were able to make this session. And so let's go ahead and jump right in. I do want to say one thing. I've been sort of wrestling with an infection here this last week, so I may need to take just a 2-minute break. If I need to, I'll just pause for just a short time, and I hope you'll understand. But hopefully, I'll make it through the whole 1 hour session with you. So today's webinar, as you can see the title, Developing Resiliency Habits for Behavioral Health Professionals. And so I'm going to present this sort of in the middle because I know some of you are, want to see this as a potential tool to present to others in your organization or your region as a behavioral health professional, prevention professional, substance abuse, mental health. And others may want to take it as a, for your personal benefit, for your personal health development. And like I said, with my infection, I've, it just reinforces and reminds you, when you get ill, when you get injured, the importance of your health to, your life and your functioning and your relationships and your productivity. Resiliency, however you want to define that, is really, really critical for all of us. So resiliency, wellness, that's what Prevention Plus Wellness is about. And you can see what we're going to be doing today. I'll give you an opportunity to complete a wellness behavior screening survey so that you can assess your particular current health risk and protective factors. And so associated with wellness, associated with resiliency. Secondly, reflect on your health behaviors and how risk behaviors harm achieving desired healthy habits and future images and benefits of the health behaviors, and identifying concrete actions to improve your health habits. And lastly, to set and monitor weekly goals to avoid risk behaviors and increase those healthy behaviors that are critical to mental and physical well-being, resiliency, performance, whether you're at work or in school or relationships, really, really important stuff. So I think this is a very good program for all of us. So let me give you some context here. So this program, well, let me go ahead. I'll pull up a slide and then I'll give you the context. So what I'll be presenting to you today is the InShape Wellness Lifestyle Training Program. And so to give you some broader context about Prevention Plus Wellness programs, all of them are designed to promote whole health, resiliency, wellness, whatever you want to call it. And then these concepts overlap. They're not the same, obviously, but they overlap with each other. And the key component really is the promotion of healthy lifestyle behaviors, physical activity, sleep, nutrition, stress control, and avoiding substance use. And for adults, that means misuse. So we have programs at Prevention Plus Wellness, PPW, primarily the sport PPW program for children, for young adolescents, for older adolescents. And then we have a program called In Shape for young adults and versions of that program as well. And then what we did is we adopted the In Shape program for adults, for those that are older than 25 years. They could be in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s, I believe. And this is information, critical information for the rest of us, for adults, for yourself, for your colleagues, to improve mental health, performance, physical well-being, resiliency, whatever you want to call it, and all those things. So that's what I'm really going to be showing you. I'm going to walking you through this program so you'll be aware of it in case you want to use it, look into it and perhaps use it with your promoting the health of your colleagues. And you know, the mental health area, the behavioral health area is challenging. Teaching is challenging, healthcare is challenging, and those helping professions oftentimes need help themselves. So, you know, we're under a lot of stress. We've got a lot of deadlines. There's a lot of challenges with, you know, well, I won't go into them all, you know them yourself, and with your own personal experiences. And then life is challenging as well. So this is a great tool to bring us back to basics. And that's what we're finding is needed with young people as well as adults, including older adults. Back to the basics, back to those things that are essential to promoting our overall mental, physical, even spiritual well-being. And that is those healthy behaviors and those as protective factors, and those risk behaviors as risk factors. So you can take this, or you can experience this today from both realms. You can participate as someone receiving the information for your personal and professional benefit, and then also becoming or becoming aware of it as a tool that you might want to look into for presenting to your colleagues. And all of this information is on our website, preventionpluswellness.com. So preventionpluswellness.com is where you can learn more about the In Shape Wellness lifestyle training for adults. And so let me walk you through it. So the first part of Prevention Plus Wellness programs is to complete a wellness behavior screening survey. So let me pull up the screening survey for you and let you look at it and walk you through it, and you could take it. You could take it, you can answer the questions yourself. Oops. I guess I clicked on stop sharing. Let me go back to that. Hang on just a second. What did I? I'm sorry here, just give me a moment. I seem to have lost my toolbar. I'd like to blame this on my infection, but I'm not sure that's what it's due to. Um, hmm. So I see we're still recording, but I cannot find my toolbar. Let me shut this off. Shut this off. So See, I think Andrew was trying to respond and help me find it. Dang it. This is very frustrating. I apologize so much. Oh, it's right here. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay, here we go. I'm back on track. I so apologize for that. I don't know what happened. But let me go ahead, and we were, just to refresh, we're looking at the screening survey. And so I'm going to walk you through the slides of the InShape Wellness Lifestyle Training Program. And so the first part of Prevention Plus Wellness programs is usually a screening survey to get you to think about your health habits, reflect on them. And here it is for this program for adults. So let's walk through the questions. You can answer these to yourself. And question number one, on most days of the week, do you engage in moderate physical activity? At least 30 minutes, such as walking, slow biking, skating, dancing, swimming. Of course, that can be a lot of things. It could be sports, it could be physical activities for fun, it could be chores or work. So it's really, we're talking about movement and some aerobic movement, which is good for the heart, good for the lungs. That's really critical overall health. And so yes or no, do you usually get that 30 minutes most days of the week? Number two, on 2 or more days a week, do you engage in muscle strengthening activities that work major muscle groups, including the legs, the hips, the back, abdomen, chest, shoulders, and arms? Yes or no? Answer to yourself question number three, does your everyday diet consist mostly of nutrient-dense foods? And those foods include whole grain bread, cereals, pasta, lean fish, lean poultry, lean meat, various kinds, dark green and red vegetables, citrus, and other fruits. Yes or no? Question four, do you usually get 7 or 8 hours of sleep each night? Question five, on most days of the week, do you use stress control techniques of any particular kind or kinds? Progressive muscle relaxation is an example, meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, deep breathing, prayer. Regular exercise and physical activity by itself is an incredible, as well as nutrition and sleep are all really important to stress control, but we're talking about whether you add anything else to that menu to deal with stress. Walking in nature. I mean, we can go on and on with this. Finding a quiet place to relax, to meditate. That's number five. Number six, those are the health promoting behaviors. Those are the protective behaviors. And now for the risk behaviors that we've integrated within this program during the past 30 days, have you had 5 or more alcoholic drinks on any one day? If you're a male, or 4 or more alcoholic drinks on any one day. If you're a female, yes, no, or I don't drink. And of course, as substance abuse specialists, you know what we're measuring there. Number 7, during the past 30 days, have you smoked any regular or vaped any e-cigarettes? Yes or no? And lastly, number 8, in the past 30 days, have you used any cannabis, opioids, or other substances, I would say, for non-medical reasons, including any illegal drug? Yes or no? So that's the screening survey, just 8 items, very quick. And now let's go back to the slides if you've had a chance to think about those behaviors, reflect on those behaviors. Oh, I see that I had closed out on the slides. I think that's what I must have done. I must have shut down my slide program. So let me pull it back up and then I'll grab onto it here. And there it is for you. So, InShape Wellness Lifestyle Training is what we're talking about. You just completed the Wellness Behavior Screening Survey. So let's take a look at the content now, the motivational content. that integrates these protective behaviors with the risk behaviors within this single intervention for yourself, for your own professional, personal development, as well as perhaps for your colleagues. If you want to look into it again on our website at preventionpluswellness.com. So you see the first screening survey question is repeated most days of the week. You engage in moderate physical activity, at least 30 minutes. And the kind of physical activity we're talking about is aerobic, moving your body, good for the heart, good for the lungs, and this is a requirement for, for most health and fitness organizations with regard to adult physical activity requirements, 30 minutes every day of the week, if not most days of the week, if not every day of the week. And so what are the benefits? What are the outcomes from regular physical activity? Regular physical activity is really the bottom, the base of the pyramid of a wellness and resiliency a pyramid. It's essential. Moving the body is essential, and it has many, many outcomes and benefits mentally, physically, like I said, even spiritually. And you can see some of them in the left-hand column. Improves mental well-being and self-esteem and confidence, eases anxiety and mild depression, reduces stress. So it is a stress reliever without a doubt, and even helps you work harder and smarter, if you will. And on the right-hand column, you can see those who are more active physically, those adults who are more active, report feeling more energized and improves their other health behaviors like sleeping. They may even eat better. So these health behaviors cluster together, the positive health behaviors, just like the risk behaviors do, and feeling more fit. So the question is here for all of you, and you could ask yourself this and reflect on it for just a moment, is what kinds of regular physical activity would you like to do or would you like to try in the next week? What kinds of things haven't you given yourself time for that you can give yourself time for now that you'd like to try? That could be anything. That could be walking with a friend or walking a dog. It could be playing down here, or the fastest growing sport in America, pickleball. It could be a sport. It could be just moving the body. It could be doing some work at home, or for somebody else, again, it could be sports, but it could also be just movement. We're talking about moving the body, essential to mental and physical wellness and resiliency. And then on the other side of that coin are the kinds of behaviors that most of us are aware of that can really interfere with or sabotage our goals to have greater resiliency and overall well-being, which is alcohol and nicotine, cannabis, that can really decrease our energy level, can cause us feelings of discomfort or fatigue, or interfere with our coordination, and therefore our motivation and our performance in any kind of physical activity or exercise, and even slow us up with regard to our performance. So these things, this is just just bringing this to the forefront for you to take a moment and reflect on this and how this relates to yourself, not to others, which you may have do on a daily basis, even as a behavioral health professional, but how this relates to you in your life right now. And here's the second question on that screening survey, that wellness survey, and 2 more days of the week. That's recommendations from CDC and other organizations. You engage in muscle strengthening activity. This is for adults, again, 25 to whatever age. And these activities, strengthen large muscle groups from legs to all the way up to the shoulders and arms and everything in between. And, you can see these different images we're showing, by the way. This is a I think, an older woman, we've got a younger woman. So we've got, the beginning slide are sort of, I would guess, probably 30 somethings. So this is really for all adults of all ages. And so related to that, by the way, if you were to present this to another group, let's say they were older adults, 50s, 60s, 70s, you could put more of these older adult images in there, and positive images, so that that population can see models of themselves, positive models. If they're 30 somethings, you maybe take this image out. So here we're talking about regular muscle strengthening physical activity. There's been a resurgence, I think, at least in social media, with regard to the importance. And there's a lot of, I know, older adults that are now doing strength training. That could be weights, it could be yoga, be different kinds of Pilates, etc. But and they're achieving the benefits, increased motivation, self-confidence, discipline, physical strength, composure, flexibility, and feeling strong and feeling fit, which really, really is important. Waking up in the morning and feeling your core, and that makes a big difference in how you feel and perform throughout the day in any setting. And so by increasing the frequency and the duration of muscle exercise, you can control your weight. Muscles burn more energy, more fat, more calories, and thus fat, promote healthy heart and lungs, and muscles improve stamina, how you look and feel. You feel it, look and shape, really. So I have found that, for example, my yoga routine helps support my walking, and vice versa. So they do benefit in those behaviors, those aerobic and anaerobic and physical activities also help promote other healthy behaviors. So the question here is for you, again, reflection on your own habits. What kinds of muscle strengthening activities could you do yourself, or would you like to do, or would you like to add at least a couple times a week? It could be sit-ups, it could be something as simple as sit-ups or push-ups, or it could be something other than that, as what we're talking about, having some light weights at home or going to a gym, etc. And many benefits to that. And again, that opposite side of the coin is substance use, particularly misuse. And for adults that drink, heavy alcohol use, 5 or more drinks for male, 4 for female, maybe even less than that. Regular alcohol use can, even if it's lower than those levels over time, can have a negative effect on our ability to be engaged in physical activity. It can increase weight, reduce motivation to exercise or play sports, increase feeling depression and unhappiness, harm your sense of relaxation, peace, and motivation, and can result in negative, embarrassing social moments and harming your reputation and future success. So all those things are associated with heavy alcohol use. So that's how some of these things are linked. Question about diet now. Your diet, is it mostly nutrient-dense foods? I mean, I think it's easier to add healthy foods to a diet than to avoid, in some cases, a lot of overly processed foods, or overly sugary foods and drinks, or overly salty snacks. So it's easier, I think, a lot of times to increase having an additional fruit or vegetable a day, or changing your, or making, and by the way, if you look at the food pyramid, the base of the food pyramid are grains. We've forgotten that with all of the diets and the focus on proteins in our diets, but it's grains, it's whole grains, not processed grains. So it's, the whole grains and breads and cereals and pasta that really should be make up the bulk of our diet, and then lean proteins and fruits and vegetables, which we're all lacking for the most part. And so there's a lot of room for improvement, and there's many benefits. Energy, eating the right foods increases your energy. Over time, prevents chronic disease, improves skin tones. It really has an impact on your appearance, skin and hair. If you're not lacking these essential nutrients, vitamins, and foods in your daily diet, and promotes muscle development. If you're going to be doing physical activity, proper nutrition, a balanced diet, I think the key word is balance, is really important. And again, even mental health, improving disposition, self-confidence. Anybody who's not eaten a breakfast or not eaten a lunch or knows what we're talking about by the impact of a lack of food or even unhealthy foods on how you feel and react to others. So really, really important. So the question again here is, what are some nutrient-dense foods that you've like to eat or that you'd like to try to eat? So this is an opportunity for you to experiment. Try something different, try something new. There's a whole world of foods out there. I mean, just fruits and vegetables alone, it's incredible what's available in our supermarkets nowadays. If you take the time to look and try some different things, experiment with some different things, add one additional fruit or vegetable a day or serving a day. And so great opportunity to do that now, to build that into your lifestyle. And of course, the recognition that alcohol adds empty calories to your diet, that robs you of your vitamins and minerals that are needed for daily functioning, for performance on the job and recreation or sports and relationships. And then heavy drinking and drug misuse makes it so difficult to be fit and to even choose healthy nutrition. And alcohol and cannabis and drug use, particularly misuse, can sap your body of energy needed to be physically active and to work and play at the best of your ability. Sleep is medicine. 7-8 hours, you usually get that amount. I mean, there's a lot of, I think, social pressure for the working age group of adults to show that they're able to function on less sleep, and we hear of famous stories of presidents and CEOs, that's not athletes so much that I've heard, but those first two groups that pride themselves on only needing 3 hours of sleep or 4 hours of sleep. That may be work for some people short term, but the research shows that sleep is medicine. Sleep is critical to resiliency, to all functioning in your body, brain and body. And so it is really critical to get that sleep. And there's many, many benefits, again, mental, physical, and spiritual. It gives you that maximum energy to be physically active and fit, to enhance your ability to think clearly for the day, to retain facts, to feel alert, to make good decisions, to be confident, to be friendly. We all know what it's like to be lacking sleep and how that makes us feel, and how we could snap at our partners and people in our lives if we don't get adequate sleep, and make you look good and feel good and feel energetic and feel motivated. So how can you personally, each of you, get a little bit more sleep or improve the quality of your sleep? So there's really two items here. There's two components to sleep. There's the amount of sleep and there's the quality of sleep. And there's a lot of issues that go into that: a dark room, a cool room, comfortable sleeping area in bed, going to bed at a regular time, shutting off electronic devices. I personally like to use one of those soundscape machines. The white noise helps. So there's a lot of things that you can do and to set goals, to do these things and to increase your sleep toward the ultimate goal of having at least 7 hours or maybe even 8. Some of us may even need 9. So you know your own body, listen to it, hear what it's telling you and what you need for maximum performance and resiliency. And of course, once again, heavy drinking, smoking, vaping, nicotine really messes up your sleeping pattern, causing you to wake up feeling tired and jittery. And this really does conflict with your ability to be active and live a high energy kind of a lifestyle. And lastly, the last protective behavior is relaxation. Or are you building an additional relaxation tool or experience every day or many days of the week? And again, they can be a lot of different things for different people. It could be reading, it could be art, it could be listening to classical or soft music, it could be walking in nature, or it could be yoga or Tai Chi or meditation or prayer or taking a hot bath or a cool bath or whatever the case may be. So lots of, but thinking about it and adding it to your plans for the next 7 days really important. And we know that relaxation is essential. It can reduce migraine headaches. It can reduce mild depression and anxiety and excessive, thoughts and worries. It can help you stay focused to enjoy your life here and now in the moment, if you will, give you a sense of peace and calm, which we all are lacking from at least adolescents, if not children, all the way to older adults with access to the news cycle and the horrendous things happening in our world throughout the world, and to help you look and feel relaxed and confident and friendly. And again, how substance use and misuse can really work against that kind of a calm relaxation and increase worries and increase unhappiness and lead to addiction, obviously. But these substance use can increase stress in your life, can increase stress. And so that's what we want to avoid. We want to make sure that if we want to have inner peace and tranquility and confidence, you got to really monitor your substance use. And so, bottom line, you want to ask yourself, and these are dichotomies, they're purposely to get you to sort of think extremely. You could be in the middle somewhere, but it forces you to think on which end of this continuum you may be on. Are you physically active or are you an inactive person? Think about that, yes or no? Are you physically active or are you largely physically inactive? Are you an athletic or are you largely a non-athletic person? Are you a healthy eater or a junk food junkie? Yeah, that's a common term. Are you well rested or are you frequently tired as a person? Are you relaxed or are you an anxious person? Are you a heavy drinker or are you a social or non-drinker? Are you a nicotine smoker vapor or non-smoker vapor? And then lastly, number 8, are you a regular cannabis or other drug user or a non-drug user? Important things to think about for ourselves, for a change, for ourselves, giving ourselves an opportunity to reflect on our own well-being. All right, so here's some recommendations for increasing wellness and resiliency in your life. This is really a summary of what we've talked about. So these are all critical. Participating in moderate physical activity at least 30 minutes, most days of the week. There's lots of options for that. It's just about moving the body and being aware of whether you're moving or whether you're not moving, sitting and focusing on screen time, for example. Number 2, participating in muscle strengthening activities at least 2 or more days a week. It could be more than 2. 3, steps to manage your daily stress by practicing some relaxation strategy. 4, eating a variety of healthy, nutrient-dense foods. There's plenty to add to your menu, your diet. Number 5, getting 7-8 hours of sleep each night. And by the way, notice how these things are linked to certain images and how you feel. You know, getting sleep, you feel more rested, etc. And then lastly, avoiding, substance use and misuse so that you can achieve these fitness and health and resiliency goals. Avoiding alcohol, especially heavy drinking, avoiding all nicotine use, avoiding regular use of cannabis, long-term use of cannabis, heavy use of cannabis. There's such an emphasis on cannabis. Just to give you a little experience, if you go to a cannabis distillery, not a distillery, a dispensary, excuse me, and I've seen this several times now as I've explored these in different states. You see these oftentimes young people working, and they start out using cannabis for one perceived ailment. It could be real, it could be perception. And they end up using it for a host of others. And they end up developing, like any substance, tolerance from a 10 milligram to over 100 to 200 milligrams. And so they're using it for everything imaginable. So it's a slippery slope, addiction is, as you know. And so being very aware of that and how substance use and misuse is a risk factor for achieving wellness and resiliency. We tell it to our clients, to our patients, to our audience, but we may or may not reflect on it for our own personal well-being. And this is an opportunity to do this with this In Shape wellness lifestyle training. Now, let's take a look at completing a wellness plan, a contract to put what you've just been reflecting on into some action. Let's take a look at it. Let me see if I could find that. There it is. I'm going to pull it up, share it with you. So here's the In Shape Wellness Lifestyle Training goal plan. We've already highlighted the recommendations for overall wellness and resiliency. I think these are 2 good statements here to help you become more active and physically fit person. You want to select one goal from the 2 key behaviors I'll show you here in a moment. And you want to keep in mind that being fit does not mean being perfect. Your main goal really should be to have a healthy body image and not engage in unhealthy behavior. So really the focus is on wellness and resiliency, and engaging in the healthy habits. And so let's start with the key foundational health habit, which is movement. You can call it exercise, you can call it physical activity, you can call it work, you can call it fun, you can call it anything you want. But there's 2 components to it as recommended by fitness and health organizations nationally and internationally. And that is number 1, muscle strengthening 2 or more days a week. B, 30 minutes of moderate aerobic physical activity, body movement. And so you can choose here what you want to do. By the way, I forgot to mention this. If you want to complete this goal plan, grab a pencil or pen, grab a piece of paper, and go ahead and complete this now, okay? So you'll have time to do that as I'm talking. And so let me just go over the physical activity options for you. You want to pick one item here, either A, that you'll start getting a little bit more muscle strengthening activity, working toward the goal of 2 or more days a week of building that into your routine, to your habit, to your lifestyle, or B, that you start getting working toward that 30 minutes of moderate physical activity most days, if not every day. Or C, some of you, I'm sure, are already doing this. You're achieving the goals of muscle strengthening and moderate physical activity. Maybe you're even engaging in intense physical activity, where you're not able to talk while you're exercising because you're doing laps or you're running, you're doing swimming laps or you're running hard or whatever the case may be. So that's fine. You could check that off. Then you are, I think, a rare and a unique person that you've achieved or exceeded the physical activity requirements. Good for you. Or none. I mean, some of you may decide, hey, I don't want to do this, but I would highly, highly encourage you to work toward these two goals, one or the other or both. Really, really important. So for those of you that do want to work toward getting a little bit more muscle strengthening, participating in a little more muscle strengthening activity or moderate physical activity or sports, here's what you need to do. Write yourself essentially a SMART goal, a SMART goal. So here it is. You want to be specific. And of course, that means, you don't want to just say, I'll get more exercise. You want to say, I'm going to play tennis, I'm going to play pickleball, I'm going to walk the dog, I'm going to lift some light weights. So it's concrete, so you can know when you've achieved it or not. It's not vague, like get more exercise. Secondly, and thirdly, you want to identify the quantity and the frequency, the amount. It could be an additional 15 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 30 minutes. It could be, that's the amount. And then the frequency is, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday through Thursday, Monday through Saturday. It doesn't matter, but you want to identify which days. And you could even add to this, in addition to being specific with your goal, what is it specifically you're going to engage in, and identifying the quantity and frequency, you can also identify more context. Where will this take place is a very important question, and with whom. So if you could identify those, that can also help clarify your goal and have success in your goal. And this is a 7-day goal. This is a short-term goal. Research shows that if you've had success in 7 days, you're likely to have success in longer-term goals, but it starts with the short-term goals and with 7 days, and you can go from there. By the way, I was watching last night a documentary series. I don't know what channel that was on, what streaming channel, and I don't even remember the name of it, but it's about Olympic sprinters, and it's fascinating. I mean, I saw the first 2 sessions. I think there's 6, one of those limited series, and so it documents last year's sprinters, focusing primarily on, I think, the 100-meter dash, the men's group, and then the women's group. Fascinating personalities, but it's great. We're not necessarily Olympic athletes, but it's good to see what they do and how their health behaviors relate to each other and how they set goals. They always are setting goals, as are successful entrepreneurs, as are, many people in different walks of life. Goal setting is essential to get us back on track and to get us moving in the right direction. So this is a great tool and an opportunity for you if you want to use it. And then the other wellness behaviors. Now you can choose one from this group. And so it could be A, you're going to eat more nutrient-dense foods, going toward most days of the week. And of course, there's a lot of room there. It could be 5 fruits and vegetables. There's so much there that you can work on that we talked about earlier. B, it could be practice stress management or relaxation most days of the week. C, getting more sleep or quality of sleep, or none of the above. But if you did pick one of those, again, you want to set your goals a specific goal. So eat more fruits and vegetables, very concrete. Eating healthier, too vague. So eating more fruits and vegetables, or eating more fruit, or eating more vegetables, or getting more sleep, or practicing meditation, or whatever. The more concrete, the easier you'll be able to see whether you've achieved it or not each day during the next 7 days. Secondly, you want to identify the amount. It could be one more serving, or five each day, or 5 servings of fruits and vegetables total a day, however you want to do that quantity. 15 more minutes of sleep, etc., or a total of sleep, 7.5 hours. And then frequency, Monday through Friday during the work week, or giving yourself a little break in the weekend, or whatever you want. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, etc. And again, if you could identify context, where it's happening, and with whom, that can also help. Lastly, if you sign this, that can, may help increase your motivation. And if you have a co-signer, so if you're presenting this to a class and you went and co-signed everybody's objectives, goals, that's very good. But I think the key thing here, the idea here, is to share your goals with others. Say, hey, I've set goals for the next 7 days, to your friend, to your partner, to whoever's important in your life. I'm working toward doing this for physical activity, doing this for sleep, and that will really increase your motivation. So sharing your goals. So you want to take this contract, this that you've written on a piece of paper, and post it where you can see it every day. At the end of the week, you want to total it up and see what you've achieved. You want to set another goal for the next 7 days. So it's not a 7 and done. You want to start with a week, assess what happened, what worked, what didn't work, working toward the ultimate goals that you want to achieve in each of those behaviors, those protective behaviors that are essential to resilience and wellness, so that you've achieved all of them. Physical activity, nutrition, sleep, relaxation. And then reward yourself with small changes. At the end of the week, give yourself something positive that you appreciate, healthy. Maybe go see a movie, maybe read a book, maybe do some art, whatever the case. But the bottom line is, realize you can do this. If you set goals, anybody can do this. The key is to think of it as it is more of a marathon than a 100-meter sprint. So you're going to start short. You're going to start with a week, but you're going to build this into your lifestyle for a while, and do this for several weeks, maybe even several months, till you get back on track, or achieve what you want to achieve with regard to your health and wellness and resiliency. And it just takes commitment, but if you stay with it, you can do it. Keep trying, never quit. You'll have some successes. You'll fall off the wagon, or you'll fall down the mountain, but pick yourself back up and keep at it. You can do it. You can do it. Persistence is the key. Don't give up. And to help you, you could create your own calendar log. It could be a spreadsheet. It could just be a sheet of paper like this. And for the next 7 days, since you've set your physical activity goals and set one or more other health goals, you can have this kind of a documentation. So at the end of every day for the next 7 days, did you achieve your goal, or did you not, or you didn't have a goal? And then you could total it up at the end of the week and see what your successes are. And then you could reflect what worked, what didn't work. Maybe I need to back off my goals. Maybe I need to clarify my goals. Maybe I need to do this or that. Maybe I need to change my strategy, whatever, but keep at it. And then again, you'll have some success, some failures, but that you'll learn from, and that you can build on the next week. And so keep that process going. So that is the recommended goal plan contract that we have. And that's it. I mean, that's it. That's it for prevention plus wellness. That's the strategy. Screening to assess your overall protective and risk behaviors. reflecting on how they impact your life and how you can improve and work toward greater protective behaviors and avoid the risk behaviors. And then setting concrete short-term goals to initiate that behavior change and to increase control over your lifestyle once again, and to build a better, healthier lifestyle. We all cycle through these things, by the way, over time. You know, you're healthy. So wellness is not a stable thing. It's very unstable. It changes moment to moment, day to day, week to week, month to month. And this behavioral change process, particularly of the goal setting, is essential to achieving it. And then once you're back on track, you're off and going, and then you can go back to this if you need it. And so that's really the process. And so that's this particular program, I think, is a good one for adults, but it sort of highlights the All Prevention Plus Wellness program. This one we focused on today is In Shape Wellness Lifestyle Training. It's for adults, and you can present it to anybody in a business setting, in a work setting, and for teachers, for coaches, for healthcare providers, for substance abuse specialists, for behavioral health specialists. This is essential for all adults. So I'm going to pause at this point and see if there are any questions or comments. I see there is a question from Astrid. How might someone whose executive functioning skills are not working at optimum achieve these goals? I do not, Astrid, you're going to have to help clarify exactly what you mean by that. I mean, I think if you're talking about being aware of their thinking process, this is a tool that will help them do that, because as you've seen, you're going to give them an opportunity to complete the wellness screening survey, which forces them to think about their health habits. Then when you present the slides and you read the script, and by the way, I didn't read the script, I just showed the slides. I didn't want to make it that formal. So literally, if you present this to others, if you go to our website, preventionpluswellness.com, and want to use this program, you will get a manual with a script that you can practice so that you'll know what to say rather than just reading off the slides. But I know enough so that I could just have used the slides. So, and during the feedback and the slides, you're asking, what can you do? What can you do to improve, to enhance each of these protective behaviors? And setting goals, I think all of that helps with executive functioning, without a doubt. Correct me if I'm wrong, and let me know if you have anything to add to that. And then Janet says, is there a reason drinking water is not included? No. I mean, that's great. Great idea. Drinking water. I mean, there's so much you could include within that would fall within the nutrition area. I mean, that's why, this is motivation. And then you could also include additional resources, education, websites, content. But no, and you could easily add that. You could add that to the slide without a doubt, water, because that is such a common thing, an important tool to overall health. That's a great suggestion, Janet. And then back to Astrid, ADHD can show up in hampering, except yes, without a doubt. But again, I think my original response still fits. This will force anybody, even with attention deficit issues, to stop and to think and to reflect on their own lifestyle and what's important to them and how to improve it if they so choose to do that. So really, those with ADHD as adults as well as children could really benefit. And of course, those kids and adults are more at risk for substance use and misuse as well, and may also be lacking in the health promoting behaviors. So this would be a tool essential for that, what I would call higher risk population. And I'm going to pull up the chat and go to the bottom and see if there's any questions. There's some nice comments about thank you and good presentation, and hello from different areas. Okay, so I don't see any questions there. Last chance if you want to ask a question. It looks like there's another question here. Even regular doctor appointments. Even regular doctor appointments. Janet, is there a reason drinking water, regular doctor appointments? Yes, I mean, without a doubt, Janet, there's other things that fall within the heading of prevention of chronic disease and mental health that could be included. And yes, that includes regular health screenings, seeing your physician, a bit, and being attuned to your body. It took me a while to realize I had this infection, and then ended up being at the walk-in clinic on the 4th of July. So, but I caught it enough so I didn't have to go to the ER at least. So all of those things really important, I think. So you can add those extra items to your slides. You can tailor your slides. Remember, I talked about the images you can tailor. You can also add a little extra content or even add an extra slide if you want to this program, if you're to use it with others. Are you able to get a CEU certificate? Yes, Susan, I'm going to send you a certificate. Everybody who's been on here will get a certificate. All right, I think that's it. I appreciate you. God bless you for what you do with youth and adults and families and communities in your area. Keep up the good work. Thank you for joining. I will send you all who have registered an email. You'll get the recording of this session, and you'll get a certificate. And if you need anything else from us, just go to our website, preventionpluswellness.com. And I hope some of you will use this new adaptation of our program with adults, which in my personal experience is so needed among our healthcare providers. We're so focused on others and our youth and so forth that we sometimes let our own health and wellness and resiliency go. So this is a great tool to stop, to pause, to reflect, and to get back on track, I think. And that's it. Thank you. Have an awesome day, everyone. Take care. If you need me, reach out, preventionpluswellness.com. If I can help in any way, I'd love to. Thank you.